Greetings, all gallant sailors on YouTube. Welcome to Abyssal Recap. Today I will explain a gamer's tribute movie called Free Guy. Spoilers alert. Buckle up and take care. Free City is an open-world video game developed by Tsunami Games where players can simulate a crime career. In the game, Guy, a non-player character, works as a bank teller and spends time with his best friend Buddy, unaware his world is a video game. One day, he encounters Molotov Girl, who is singing his fave song Fantasy. He is mesmerized and begins to deviate from his programming. Buddy warns him not to mess around with figures with glasses. But he insists to find his dream girl and takes a pair of sunglasses from a player who tries to rob his bank.
I'll give them right back. I said no!
Through which he sees Free City from the player's head-up display. With a single touch to the first aid kit, his physical injuries are miraculously recovered. He also picks up the dropped cash from a downed player and buys the shoes he's always wanted. Meanwhile, believing Guy to be a hacker disguised as an NPC, developer Keys and his co-worker Mouser tries to arrest him in-game. They conjure firearms to pin him down. But Guy suddenly discovers his shoes' super jump ability and escapes onto a construction site. Keys and Mouser spawn staircase to chase him and crashes him with FCPD car when he's back on the ground. After handling Guy, Keys complains to Mouser about the glitches in current 1.0 version. And deplores the upcoming complete wipeout in 2.0 update. The original game Life itself was developed by Keys and Millie. However, it was made into Free City by Tsunami's head developer Antoine. Keys has since taken a job at Tsunami, while Millie spends time within Free City as her avatar Molotov Girl, to find evidence of her and Keys' code and prove they are the rightful owners of the code. One day, Millie receives an intel that their code might be hidden in a heavily guarded stash. As she is sneaking in, Guy shows up and gets them compromised. Millie portals both her and Guy to her hideout. She initially thinks he's another player named Blue Shirt Guy, and not an NPC. She tells him to level up to over 100 before she will speak to him again. Rather than leveling up through the typical destructive acts, Guy opts to become a good guy, completing missions within Free City to reach level 100. During which he becomes a worldwide sensation as players watch the progression of Blue Shirt Guy. Millie later tries to infiltrate the stash to retrieve the secret file again, however the tough guards give her more troubles this time. She's fighting all alone with a pistol. At this moment, Guy shows up right on time to save the day. He crashes into the stash with a motorcycle knocking guards down. Millie is impressed by Guy's godlike performance. As she's about to pick up the evidence, more swordsmen teleport into the stash. They have to abort the mission and bail out. The two cooperate perfectly to fend off the relentless guards and escape from the stash in one piece. Guy's so fascinated by his dream girl that he even forgets the fact he doesn't have parachute, but luckily Millie took out a glider to help them land safely back to the ground. So far, they've developed some sort of relationship and kiss each other before Keys knocks on Millie's door in real life. Keys eventually realizes that Guy truly is not a cheating player but an NPC. Other NPCs that Guy interacts with also begin to develop self-awareness. Their code works. But Keys also learns that Free City 2 is due to release in 48 hours and will completely replace Free City, effectively terminating all of the game's NPCs. Millie then tells Guy the truth of his situation. Guy is shocked and greatly disappointed. He breaks off their relationship and accepts his tragic identity. However, after talking with Buddy about the situation, Guy realizes there was something more than love in that relationship and gains full sentience. Guy returns to Millie to agree to help before Free City is wiped from Tsunami's servers to make way for its sequel, Free City 2, in 2 days. Guy breaks into the stash again with Buddy's help, but now its owner, recognizing Guy as Blue Shirt Guy, gladly hands over the evidence. Guy's continued popularity threatens the launch of Free City 2, and Antoine orders Keys and Mouser to reboot Guy's programming. But Keys refuses and is fired, and Antoine reboots Guy himself. In-game, Millie is researching the evidence that Guy found in the stash, but she suddenly finds Guy has lost memories and sentience. He turns into a normal NPC doing his daily routines. But recalling Keys' advice that Guy would need a reminder, she kisses him. Guy's sentience is restored, and he recalls the location of the island, part of life itself that will not be protected from the pending data wipe and is the only proof of Millie's and Keys' original code. As Guy and Millie persuade the other NPCs in the game that they are more than their programming, Antoine tries to delete Guy and Molotov Girl from the game. He breaks the Free City models to stop them. Keys interferes to protect them and direct them to the island, broadcasting the effort to all of the Free City players after he is confronted by Antoine in person. Keys also constructed a bridge to help them. But Antoine then sends Dude, a bigger and unfinished copy of Guy developed for Free City 2 into the game. Buddy also comes to help but ends up getting himself wounded during the outmatched combat. Dude is way too strong to their capability. Guy tries to beat him with Captain America's shield, lightsaber from Star Wars, Rainbow Smash pickaxe from Fortnite, gravity gun of Half-Life, portal gun etc. He still gets beaten up by the Rocky Dude. But ended up liberating Dude's sentience by putting the glasses on him. Dude instantly turns into a curious toddler. Antoine takes a final step of destroying the game's servers with an axe, resulting Free City corrupting. NPCs are also disappearing, which includes Dude's best friend Buddy. With nothing left to lose, Guy makes it to the island in time, proving life itself is the origin property of Free City. Millie approaches Antoine and offers a deal to give up upon the profits of the Free City franchise to him in exchange for her creation. Sometime later, Millie salvages her code and releases the indie game Free Life, which includes all NPCs from Free City. In the game, Guy reveals to Millie that his code is, in fact, a love letter to her from Keys. This explains why Guy felt uniquely drawn to Molotov Girl. Millie is deeply touched by this subtle secret. She leaves the game, rushes out to find Keys. Without a word, the two look each other with a brighter future awaits. That's the end of today's video. If you do enjoy watching it, feel free to leave a like and consider to subscribe to the channel. And I will see you guys in the next one. Abyssal signing out.